So Dream recently uploaded a response video to the allegations that have been plaguing him over the past couple months, and so far the internet reaction to this has been incredibly mixed. I've seen people's reactions range from, oh, Dream actually did a good job of defending himself, to, he's still a pedophile groomer rapist, although I've seen slightly more people on the former side. Now, before we discuss any of this, I'm going to give you my stance on Dream right now to show that there aren't any potential conflicting interests. I am in no way a fan of Dream, but I don't really hate him, I just don't interact with his content, and I believe there are many things that he's done that he deserves to be criticized for. But I believe that Dream is very irresponsible with how he has managed his fans, between encouraging them parasocially to bowing down to them at every perceived slight they have with him, no matter how small. This has led to him having a very strange relationship with his fans that most other creators don't have. So when allegations of him being a groomer came out, everyone was like, yeah, Dream is parasocial with his fans, so it's obviously true. However, after seeing all the allegation and Dream's response, I do not believe that Dream is a groomer or a pedophile. I don't really care for Dream, but he should be given a fair chance to defend himself like anyone else. Obviously, if he is guilty, fuck him, and I hope that the Booty Warrior deals with him in jail. But so far, I do not believe that he's a pedophile. Even the most recent 24-page document against Dream doesn't really do much besides give more context to the original Snapchat grooming allegations made by Burner22. In a major turn of events, while I was recording this video, Dreamscraper has walked back their statements and Burner22 has completely deactivated. While I was going to say that this was a he said she said situation that's still very much up in the air, it's not looking good for the anti-Dream crowd right now with all of these walkbacks. Even if they didn't walk it back, I'd still be hesitant to believe it because Snapchat accounts are very easy to fake. With all of that being said, while I don't think his parasocial enabling behavior makes him deserve being called a pedophile, I'm not really surprised that this is happening to him because it's the end result of what happens when you get too close to your fans, especially when they are on the younger side of the spectrum. It's just weird to me how so many people are desperately praying that Dream actually fucks kids so that they are justified in hating him. You can still think that Dream is a bad person and dislike him without trying to go full nuclear on the pedophile route. Now for the video itself, after watching the entire thing, I was pretty surprised at how decent it was. Over the years, I've seen so many horrendous apologies by people that should have never seen the light of day, and considering that it's Dream, I was expecting something way worse. If you haven't seen the video yet, I highly recommend it because it was surprisingly solid. But while Dream did go above and beyond in some cases between hiring lawyers, contacting police stations, getting testimonies from people involved, and providing deep personal info, there were a couple issues that I had with this video. First off, Dream starts the video off by talking about his face leaking, Minecraft speedrun incident, and Moist Critical, and I was like, why is any of this even being talked about? He also talks about Quackity ghosting him too, which is really out of place. It's all either super old drama that no one cares about or completely insignificant in the face of actual grooming allegations. Like, dude, we don't care that Moist Critical said you posted thirst traps on Snap or Quackity left you on red. You should be far more concerned with the grooming allegations. I also didn't like his segment about grown men using Snapchat. Again, dude, who cares that you're an adult who uses Snapchat? That shit got millions of users. A good chunk of them are bound to be adults. I know it's a whole meme to say that only kids use Snap, but come on now, who really cares about that when you have more serious issues to deal with? He also tried using the YouTube age chat to say that his fans are older, like no kid has ever lied about their age online. There was also a part where he shows other creators who've dated their fans ignoring the fact that they didn't engage with their fans at dubious ages / when they were massive. The final thing I have an objection with is the part where he talks about Instagram DMs and how he can't fully remove them, which is why he continued to talk to this girl. No, dude. While that is how IG DMs work, there is no software that forces you to talk to her. You should have kept it brief and moved on. Sort of an asshole thing to say, but you're a big ass YouTuber, you don't need to dwell super hard with your fans. In fact, it's normal that the bigger you get, the less time you spend interacting with individual fans. I also did hear that there are some minor inconsistencies in the video that doesn't line up with some stuff, but only time will really tell who's innocent and guilty here. Aside from all of that though, I thought the video was fine and did a decent job discussing the allegations, and at least it has chapters so you can skip the fluff and actually look at the important parts. Like with the Orange County Police Department where he calls them and shows that nothing was logged against them despite claims that it was logged, for example. If he could have either removed a couple of the irrelevant segments I talked about earlier or dumped them towards the end, I think it would have been better, but all in all, I don't really have much of an issue with this response. I think he could have released it a bit earlier, but we don't exactly know what was going on behind the scenes, so whatever, I guess. Despite all of that though, whether or not you believe that Dream is innocent or guilty, there will probably never be a proper conclusion to this, because regardless of what you think, legally nothing is going to actually happen to Dream. He isn't going to get jailed either way. I mean, look at EDP for example. This dude got caught in 4K Ultra Dolby HD digital in multiple IRL meetups, and he's still a free man. Overall though, I thought his response was decent. While I think he was yapping a bit too much and added in a bunch of unnecessary segments, he went in depth decently on the parts that actually mattered, aka the groomer allegations, so all in all, better than expected. However, even with this decent response, Dream has accumulated a massive group of people who hate him no matter what, and they had something to say about it. We will start off lightly. Some people said that since Dream had this video monetized and that he also has his merch linked, essentially saying that he's milking the drama for money. For the monetization point, I get that usually these types of videos aren't monetized, but Dream says that all of these profits are going to the Joyful Heart Foundation. And while you can claim that he's lying, I highly doubt it because Dream is under a huge amount of scrutiny and any lie at this point would ruin him. Even if he was claiming the money for himself, so... Oh no, he gets half a cent from a view! Wow, bro is for sure loaded from that like he wasn't before. As for the merch, there's a feature on YouTube that lets you promote all your merch on any of your videos regardless of what it is, and is automated and apparently impossible to disable. I've also been seeing claims of people saying that this video is poorly received since it has a very poor like to dislike ratio. However, they are using a YouTube plugin to estimate the amount of dislikes as we can't actually look at the real thing anymore. And how this YouTube plugin works is that it uses the amount of people who dislike it while using it and then tries to extrapolate the total amount of dislikes from that. The actual like to dislike ratio looks much better, and this source is apparently from Dream himself as it is in the creator studio. Next person says it's almost like you can groom adults too, if you even consider 18 an adult. While the tweet they are replying to is deleted, based on some of the replies to them, I can infer that they are talking about Dream. So are we at the point now where we are so desperate for Dream to be a pedo that we are saying adults are groomable? Are you stupid or something? If 18 is considered underage, then they should no longer get the right to vote. This is like that underage 21-year-old post all over again. Complete nonsense. The following tweet reads, Dream, now why did you put me and a lot of smaller accounts in the video and completely uncensored? You know damn well what your community is known for. While I do see where this person is coming from, as there have been cases of rabid Dream fans who have been extremely aggressive at anyone who covers this drama, regardless of what they say about Dream. At the same time, if you are publicly, openly making accusations about someone, do not get mad when other people or the person you're making the accusations about sees it and responds publicly to it. Also, at what point in this video did Dream ask people to go and harass you? Maybe if you don't want public responses, don't give out public opinions. How about that? On that note, you guys know Burner22, the account that originally brought up the Dream Snapchat moaning, said that they filed a police report to the Orange County Sheriff's Office and had in their bio that they were so confident about their stuff that if Dream decided to sue, they would counter it. Well, after Dream reveals that there has never been a call to the Orange County Sheriff's Office to log his alleged crimes, they have straight up deactivated now. One of the last things that they posted with them floundering in the water was word salad about how the person that shared all of this with them apparently either lied to them or Dream. Either this person lied to us about the allegations being true, sent us fake proof, and then gave us permission to post it for whatever reason, or they lied in Dream's response video about the allegations being false and the allegations are true. You couldn't have gotten all of this sorted out before you went public against Dream? You had your chance and you blew it. Congrats on muddying the waters and making it harder to find the truth. Then we got the same guy that I talked about in the tweet before saying things Dream didn't address in his video. His past as a Trump supporter, his history of anti-Semitism, his history of racism, his history of sexism. What Dream did address: him using Snapchat as an adult, Gumball slapping him, speedrunning drama, Moist critical. While I agree with 3 to 4 things listed that Dream didn't need to address, at the same time it feels super disingenuous to try and make it out to be that those are the only things Dream addresses and ignore all the grooming allegations that he talks about in depth. Imagine getting police statements, hiring lawyers, getting statements from people involved to prove your innocence, and then someone spews out this nonsense. I love how Dream is supposed to address voting for Trump like the dude who has multiple breakdowns live on air and sniffs little girls is any better. Also, they want Dream to address his darker past like the average person hasn't said worse in private. All I'm gonna say about that is me and the boys be getting devious and diabolical in the late night VCs. The only part that I can argue for is Gumball, and that is because Gumball was directly responsible for fanning the flames of the Dream allegations a lot and how people were so quick to defend him even though he was very abusive to Dream and the Uber driver. Dropped the F slur and almost got himself arrested dissing cops if it wasn't for the Uber driver.
I am like this because ADHD, autism, neurodivergent.
I have ADHD as well.
Right, but because you said that's what the mask is, I think you're a faggot, alright? So that's why.
he ended up dropping his phone out of the Uber window in the middle of the highway, and after he got out to look for it, the police showed up and stopped him from looking because it was dangerous and dark. Eventually, the Uber driver convinced Nicholas to leave.
Well, I want to promise you that I'm sober, so if you guys want to conduct a sobriety test.
Hey, look, hey, we're about to head out.
And after we left, the Uber driver was trying to give advice to Nicholas on the police, telling him that he could have been arrested, and Nicholas did not like what he had to say.
You're retarded, you're f***ing Down syndrome, I don't give a f***. How far did you go in your education?
Who cares?
Of course, I started to get involved and argue with Nick, defending the Uber driver, and Nick did not like that at all.
Either you're going to be paralyzed or you're going to be dead. Like, I'm serious.
Okay, man.
If Nicholas did all of that to anyone else but Dream, he would be the one getting flogged on the internet square now. But since he lucked out and his opponent is Dream, he gets a free cheat pass. Even X2C, the Canadian caveman who can barely form a coherent sentence during stream, understands this concept better than 90% of Twitter users. The gumball part shows that no matter how badly you act, as long as the other person is more hated, you can get away with almost anything. There's even some guy in the replies talking about how Dream did an hour of yapping and only addresses the stuff that he thinks will make him look good. While I think that Dream included way too many unimportant dramas in his response, he's being accused of a lot of stuff. Obviously, he's going to spend a lot of time talking about it all, especially when he's dealing with pedophile allegations. What did you think his response was going to be? A 5-second clip of him saying, "No, I did not groom that woman." As for the part about him cherry-picking the stuff that makes him look good, he talks about Burner22 and various other grooming allegations that were prominently featured as talking points as to why he's a pedo. You think that's easy to cherry-pick? One more tweet is someone posting a meme about the most recent Dream grooming allegations and saying that they're concrete proof. Yeah, I'm done at this point. Imagine having life-ruining allegations levied against you and having it reduced to a fucking SpongeBob meme. GG, man. And then this person has the audacity to try and act surprised that they're getting hate for using grooming allegations as a way to boost their interactions. These new gen blood sports fucking suck. Of course the person doing this is some irony poison loser. Thank you for the blatant interaction farming under a very serious matter. We need to make do with this new irony poison Twitter meta because it is complete cancer. Also, the account they are quoting closed down their documents so that meme aged like fine milk, curdled and moldy. This whole situation is just one complete mess and I highly doubt that we will even get a proper conclusion. I mean, sure, more stuff will come out that will make people swing more towards either guilty or innocent, but there will always be a large subsect of people who still hate Dream no matter what and will still proclaim him guilty regardless even if he is innocent. The way I see it right now, so far there have been a lot of accusations made against him and while some of them are blatantly false, that does not mean all of them are fake and vice versa. We need to look at each accusation on a case-by-case basis and then go up from there. The main issue with this whole drama is that due to a bunch of shitty actions Dream has taken previously, it has left an incredibly sour taste in people's mouths and some of them have started to hate him no matter what he does. His parasocial closeness with his fans also plays a massive factor into this as it gives the grooming allegations far more merit than they would have if he had a more typical relationship with his fans. But like I said before, no one wins in the end. If the allegations are false, then that is legitimately one of the most disgusting things you can do to another person for what? Being a cringe Minecraft YouTuber? At the same time, if it is real, then there are victims whose lives will forever be ruined and Dream will probably evade jail time like EDP. But a good portion of the people online don't care about that, especially on Twitter. They'll all make memes calling him a pedo and shit, but when he responds, they mysteriously switch up and go, "Bro yapping," and "I ain't reading all that." Dude, you were so invested in Dream when you thought that he was a pedo, and now that there's a real possibility that he may not be anymore, you aren't interested? Corny ass behavior, but it only shows the simple reality that people don't care whether or not Dream is innocent. In fact, they secretly hope that he did it so that they can continue to make memes and jokes, completely ignoring the fact that there are real people whose lives are at stake here and that this isn't some sort of game. They even openly admit it and say that he's getting all of this shit because they hate him. To wrap up what I said, the response was decent. He ran his mouth on some unimportant parts a bit too long and apparently there are minor inconsistencies but nothing major to shatter the rest of the video. Add to the fact that prominent accounts that were accusing Dream of grooming are starting to backtrack and Dream might actually make it through this. And we should at least let Dream defend himself before we condemn him as a groomer pedophile even if you don't like him and want to make jokes about him. That's all I have to say. See ya.
Let's play.